The last 2 years have provided little to celebrate in the fight against crime, and more importantly to a paranoid populace who watch on as the blood continues to flow in the reduction of murders. Despite statistic-laden reassurances that serious crime is down, few in this country are convinced that the authorities are in control. 4 murders in 3 days welcomed 2012. By the 19th day, that number was 25. Cue more tough talk from the Prime Minister.
To this end, my government is committed to the implementation of the death penalty, which remains part of the laws of Trinidad and Tobago.
With increasing pressure to perform, she hoiked Minister John Sandy in favor of one of her government's hardest workers.
We have to take back this country block by block, street by street, and we shall make no compromises whatsoever. There are groups in this country that want to sponsor lawlessness, want to create lawlessness, in a sense they thrive on lawlessness. Whether it's in the form of illegal occupiers of land or trespassers, otherwise they thrive on that. And we cannot afford in any way to have a lawless society. And I ask those people who live in this country, all of them, who are in favor of law and order, to join with this government and with the Ministry of National Security, my minister and myself, to save this country.
The Hoop of Life project was implemented, but Mr. Warner had more elaborate plans.
The technology is coming that will be able to identify where the shot went off, when, and even, of course, to detect where the house that came from is. That's coming.
And how soon is this technology coming on stream?
I am told that the best thing will be 3 to 4 months.
But crime seemed to be determined to prevail, and brazenly at that.
It seems public life is not yet done with former National Security Minister Martin Joseph. Just a week after current minister Jack Warner asked for his contribution to new crime plans, comes word that Mr. Joseph was held up at gunpoint and his stepson's car stolen.
With the fight at their doorsteps, politicians were pressed to do something about the scourge. They began to identify the real cause, the sometimes unruly, seemingly always unapproachable mecca of criminal activity.
No amount of police cars going to solve crime in this country. No amount of SRPs, no amount of police, no amount of guns, no amount of helicopters is going to solve the crime in this country unless you fix East Port of Spain.
2012 saw 379 murders, up from the SOE-controlled 352 of 2011. Minister of Planning Dr. Botiwari revealed what the whole country already knew.
The crime solvency rate was not really improved. The increase in homicide detection rate wasn't really significantly improved. And the time taken for cases remained the same, which is very high and affects the quality of justice in the country.
The last year has been the bloodiest of the People's Partnership reign. 407 murders, in excess of a figure that one senior member of the police force projected and not predicted. It was a year that also saw 3 men, Warner, Emmanuel George, and then Gary Griffith, sit in the national security hot seat. Their methods to stem the tide include reviving the flying squad, silence, increased police presence, and a couple familiar strategies.
That lockdown will entail not 3 OPVs, but to acquire 1 long-range patrol vessel, which is all that is really required to secure our exclusive economic zone from 12 to 200 miles. That is all that is required, 1, not 3.
A fleet of new shiny patrol vehicles, and bringing in Bill Bratton, the former police commissioner, who brought New York's discriminatory stop-and-frisk program into effect. There was even a plan for the police service to go online. The results of these, as they say, are history. It's a morbid chore as every morning the media picks up what criminals, free to be themselves, leave on the country's streets. The Prime Minister remains steadfast in a hope that tough rhetoric will admonish our disobedient sons to put down the guns. For her subordinates, the message is clear.
They must perform. No shades of grey, no excuses, and no apologies. The government and people of Trinidad and Tobago are demanding results now.
To date, there have been over 1,400 murders under the People's Partnership's watch. Reduction in incidences of the crime that causes the most nail-biting and sleepless nights in this country will always be seen as a marker for the success of any crime-fighting initiative. Until some success is recognized by this administration in that area, the population will continue to weigh their performance versus old talk.